We back, y'all. We back with another reaction. And this time, I think the FBI reward money is itching up on somebody's hand. And what I mean by that, some people talking, y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. Hold on for a minute. Do y'all think, sorry about that, y'all. Do y'all think that the perpetrator wants some part of this money? Do y'all think that the perpetrator wants some part of this money? Now, as you know, just in case you didn't know, that ever since Savannah said, I will pay. And then she said, I beg for your help. The last time. Then we got this. Now we got gloves. We got the gloves that he was wearing. I doubt that very seriously. If it is, I just can't believe it. I believe it's some setup gloves. Because I don't believe that man, that tight as this man glove was, I think this man got sense enough not to throw them gloves on the ground. Now, those just Lanita opinions. And those, in my opinions, are my opinions. And not necessarily based on facts. Now, this dude big. This a big dude. Now, it's a white tent at the house that we're going to look over today. We're going to look over the white tent. And then another question, do y'all believe that the FBI has taken over? Now, look, this case don't interest y'all. If it don't interest y'all, it's a million other channels on YouTube that you can go watch. But Miss Nancy, we're going to keep that awareness off on you. Now, I told y'all, big as that house is, they can do anything in that house without an elderly lady knowing what's going on, okay? Now we're gonna get into, y'all been doing a good job, a great job on this case. And like I say, I put videos out. I'm not gonna always come live right here, y'all, because sometimes spiritually I need my peace, and I would put out an upload for you all. It's your job to go look at those uploads, because I am posting. So you must go look at those videos, because I'm putting important things in there, and I can think better. We even talked about the mask, the glove, where we think he got it from, and everything. Now, I wonder, has the FBI, I know the FBI is involved, but do y'all think somebody is stopping the FBI from taking over? They need to take over this. But it's a reason why they not. But you know what, Patrick? They did bring up, and I'm going to tell you, Patrick, go and watch the video I just uploaded last night. That name came up last night. Them gloves, baby. And see, I'm not going to bring that up in this live, but I want y'all to do this. I know you don't want me to know who you are. I don't care who you are. But if you'll subscribe to my channel, because a lot of y'all got the same name under 5 times, 10 times. But I ain't worried about that. But the thing is, this case, I take my cases serious. Now, OJ Gloves did come up. We had Law and Order, who I watch every day. Every second of the day. All night. My channel stay on Law and Order. I don't care how old Law and Order and First 48 get. I love solving crime. Now, let's check this out, y'all. We know the house is big enough for this man right here to live in it. in that video that I made yesterday, we talked about where he could have got the gloves. Y'all make sure you go and look at that, watch that video. It tells you a lot. Some of y'all watched the video already. Go and watch the video. It's not going to affect me no kind of way, okay? All right. So let's look and see what's going on under this tent. Why they put that tent up, that white tent up. The son-in-law did. Well, I'm not about to get into that. Check my videos out. Check the video out. We cannot just say who did it. We don't do that on this channel, because if we know who did it, then they'll be locked up, okay? But you can assume that's who that's your opinion, that's who you think did it. Okay, here we go.
And Matt Finn is live outside Nancy Guthrie's home, where we're seeing some movement. Matt, describe the scene for us.
Yeah, in the past couple of minutes, we saw this white tent be put up outside of the front door of Nancy Guthrie's home. Obviously not clear why that tent is there, but it is most certainly blocking view from the public and any passerbys. We imagine there might be some activity happening inside that tent, which is directly in front of Nancy Guthrie's home. Of course, that doorstep has now become such a critical element of this investigation, because we have seen that masked figure right outside of that front door. Also, the blood drops leading from the front door down the sidewalk to the gravel driveway. Perhaps the tent is protecting that blood and the evidence from the sun, or perhaps there will be ongoing investigations that they want to keep a little more discreet underneath that white tent. But it was just put up moments ago. We'll be sure to keep you updated on any activity going in or out of that tent. It's clear to us on the ground here right now that investigators have really been focusing on the area in and around Nancy Guthrie's home, meaning foot searches on the ground. Also over at Annie Guthrie's house as well. Over the past couple of days, our crews have seen foot searches, grid-like searches, all times of the day. Morning, noon, and night. In fact, just this morning, really only a couple of hours ago, one of our crew members saw the Pima County Forensic Unit searching a major thoroughfare around here, Campbell Avenue, taking pictures on Campbell Ave, and that was about a mile away from Nancy's house. And then yesterday, investigators found a black glove also on Campbell Avenue, which is a busy street that feeds into Nancy's neighborhood. Then that glove could be the type of clue that could offer critical DNA evidence. And of course, the Nest Cam video that was released outside of Nancy's front door shows that masked figure wearing dark gloves. The surveillance video was released on Tuesday, but so far the FBI has not released a description of the person in that video, meaning estimated height and weight. We're told law enforcement is working on that description, but that ultimately could help the public narrow down exactly who they're looking for out here. So back live outside of Nancy's house, we will keep you updated on the ongoing investigation and developments here in the Tucson area. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Matt. Phil?
Dana, I want to take you over. Sorry, I thought we were going to play a soundbite there. My bad. Come on over here. We'll get to that soundbite momentarily. Nancy's Guthrie's house is right here. Okay, I want you to show you the location for where that glove was located. I'm going to give you 3 different ways to get there, all right? And it takes no time at all to get from her home, all right? It's 1.5 miles if you fly like a bird. It's 4.5 miles to Annie Guthrie's house if you do the same. But all these roads are such a winding tapestry in this neighborhood. Must be beautiful in the southwestern part of America, but you can go up this road and find your way to that glove location. You can also go this way and find your way. You can also take the shortest route, which puts you here as well. All 3 routes, about a mile, mile and a half,
Wow.
3 minutes, 4 minutes, you're there. It's only stop signs, no stoplights, it's not far at all. So keep that in mind about this location, whether or not that's significant. This is the glove. The New York Post had a crew there when they found it yesterday on the side of that road. And this is the neighborhood, the tapestry of roads that I...
But why would he? It's so much going on in this case. Why would he take out those gloves and throw the gloves over there oh Lord have mercy. Why he ain't just put the gloves inside his book bag? I don't understand this dude.
I described. Everything in yellow on the outside, those are the main roads. Everything in green is just this windy road that takes you. It looks like a tree branch, right? Several tree branches throughout the area. Nancy's home's here. The glove was found there, and we'll see whether or not the
Wow.
makes a hill of beans momentarily. But for more, we're going to bring in the animal.
So he does something to Miss Nancy, and then threw his gloves down. We don't know. That man could have been just somebody who peeping in the house, a peeping Tom. He might not even be the adopter. We don't know. We really don't know.
PD Inspector Paul Morrow, who joins us now. Dana.
Paul, good morning to you. So we're at day 12, and yesterday morning we had this news from Harvey Levin saying that they had just received a note from somebody who says that they know the kidnapper asking for a Bitcoin. Later on in the day, we get this report that there's one glove found. Now this morning we see the tent outside the house.
There was 2 gloves found, y'all. Not one glove found, okay? There were 2 gloves found. Why would he take off his glove and just throw them away like that? Is he part of the crime? Or was he just snooping around?
Based on your experience in terms of investigations, like, where do you see this on day 12? Is it slowing down, gaining momentum, about the right amount of time being spent in each place? Your expertise means a lot to everybody listening, so we'll turn it over to you.
I don't know.
So, Dana, one thing about
They didn't
investigations,
say.
they have peaks and valleys. And right now, I would characterize it, despite the fact that we've had a couple of things that could be significant, I think we're in a little bit of a valley. Now, that doesn't mean that the case has gone cold or that no progress is being made. And just let me explain that, in the past, people got very used to the idea, the first 48, we've all heard that. And that was because the forensics were very, very different. You were working with fingerprints and things that came back much more quickly. You either had a match or you didn't. And you also did that off of interviews and things like that.
I wonder how is the weather there. Cause they want to make sure that the weather don't wash nothing away, interfere with anything.
There is so much digital dust floating around out there that people leave. Never mind things like the fact that cars all have GPSs. These cars are rolling computers. They link to each other. They link to OnStars, things like that.
It's weird.
People have dash cams. The point is, there's a lot of stuff that has to be.
Hey, y'all, have y'all ever thought about,
case together?
Is anyone out there who is investigating messing up the investigation? I saw pictures of what I just said. Y'all heard what I said. Do y'all think that someone in the investigation could be messing up the investigation? Sometimes people who working with you know what's going on. They could be watching and going against them. I don't know. Because I want to get into this, the sheriff, because what he doing at basketball game, he's supposed to be helping finding Miss Nancy. Okay, y'all, let's watch this, and then we're going to get into the former police officer calls out. Whoa! I wonder what he called out for. To me, I think this is political. It's just my opinion, and I can make my opinion, and y'all just don't worry about my opinion. Just your opinion. I'm just thinking that I'm just telling you that it's political. Cause why Miss Nancy?
FBI Supervisory Agent James Galliano, live outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. So one of the big questions, James, a lot of us have, what are the points of entry? We saw that.
Well, we are thinking, y'all, cause they don't even know. We know more than they do, and we're not even there.
Because that's where you see the
so there's nothing wrong with talk about it. I'm always talk about it to their families.
Where else could the suspect have entered into the home?
Miss Nancy.
So, Lawrence, I'm going to take a look at this as a former FBI SWAT team leader. And so when we do a site survey on a potential location where we're trying to make entry into, And what are the things that I would see that would be difficult to make entry? Because remember, if you're a bad guy trying to get inside, or if you're the good guys going to make a rescue, you want to find the path of least resistance. And
Right.
much of the architecture out here, obviously with the ties to Mexico, much of the architecture is Spanish or Latin American type. And on the front door, and I've looked at that front door, you can see it, over my shoulder here. It's right behind me. It is a thick wood, hickory, oak type door. It's very, simple and synergist with the locality here. And in front of it, there's something that we call a rejas. And what is a rejas? It's a Spanish word. It's like ornate wrought iron grating, and usually they're put over windows or doors. And what do they allow? They allow for ventilation in or out, and they're also for security. Well, Mrs. Guthrie has one on her door. So that was an additional layer. And why this individual, this perp, this suspect, decided to go there to disable the Nest camera instead of, and our intrepid drone team has been out here and they've taken great drone footage from high above. You can look at the entire property. There's an outbuilding back there. There's a pool in the back. There are multiple points of entry that you could get into very easily. In the back of the house, there is a back door that's got like 9-panel window panes in it. You could have easily broken one panel, reached in.
Now, we talked about that yesterday, y'all. Sometimes when I'm not here, y'all, I still have uploads out there for y'all, some good information. We said the same thing. He didn't even have to go to the front door. He could have used the side door. He could have used the back door. I don't believe that's the man. I just don't believe that's the abductor. I don't believe that's the killer right there. I really don't. I believe he's somebody probably seen something or saw something or been living out there. You know what I mean? You never know who that person is or was.
And unlocked the door and gone in with nobody noticing. So
Right.
the suspect went to the front. We obviously know that Mrs. Guthrie was there at some point in time.
I said
because we
that
know
too.
that the blood spatter is there and the DNA came back to
Lee.
her. It really boggles the mind. This case gets confounding. And again,
Right,
investigators certainly know more than I do. But as I look at this, and if I'm thinking about it from the good guy perspective trying to get in or the bad guy perspective, I don't understand why that front door would have been an option. You could have gotten into and out of that
That's
house.
what I was like. I was like, why did he use the front door? I don't believe that. That's why I said, this is just me. I just don't believe, y'all, that's the person that, I think he just saw something. And he saw what was going on at that house. And he came in and took over. I think that the person who involved in this was driving. Not walking on feet like he was. What y'all think? Well, yeah, it's sad people in this world. It's sad people in this world. Everybody not here for Miss Nancy. They here to fuss. But we here to discuss. So stay focused on the case. We might know. Just don't give up. I'm not leaving until they find Miss, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be here until they find Miss Nancy, and I'm going to keep awareness on her name.
Avoided the surveillance from that video camera on the front door and brought her out the side where there are no surveillance cameras and had a car there to take her away. It boggles the mind.
James says it shows.
Man, I like you, because you're thinking just like me. Everything coming out your mouth, I just said that. You had a car. That's what I just said. I don't know. Y'all got to think like investigators when you're doing a case like this. You got to think like, you have to think. If you want to give up, this may not be the case for you.
That she evidently won when she was dropped off by, we assume, the son-in-law. She went in the garage. So that means I would assume you go into the garage because the front door is locked. You make a choice. It's easier to hit a button than it is to maybe fumble for your keys. Would you assume the same thing?
Right.
Would you think that a woman, an 84-year-old woman, would always be sure to keep that front door locked? And going in the garage, isn't that a further indication that it was locked? And then you wonder, did you break that door off the hinges? You know.
Well, I believe they let Miss. I don't know, 'cause Miss Nancy been living out there for years, and what I can't understand is why does she have to go through her garage to go to the house? Is it convenient for her? Cause she don't have to climb no stairs. But maybe she lost her keys. If she lost her keys, they would have a key. So they left the door unlocked to her house. So I don't understand why they letting her go through the garage. But y'all, if you have a garage, I use this my garage to go with my door, like she does. But she might leave that door unlocked. We don't know unless they just started doing it. Somebody know, like somebody in the chat said, that somebody knows in the family, allegedly. Not really.
I don't know of anybody that picks a deadbolt lock. Maybe you do. What does that tell you?
Yeah, well, Brian, and we don't know how that garage door operates. Is it
Right.
a key code pad? Is it a traditional key? Was it left unlocked?
Thank you,
like sometimes people
Davey.
do? I can't imagine
Hey, Carol.
a woman reaching down and lifting that door up. It was probably an automatic garage door opener. Maybe she could have had that too. And here's the question too: did the perp follow her into the house? But then it begs the question: why would he go back around to the front? Unless there was a vehicle waiting and that was going to come at a prescribed time, or he was going to message somebody.
I believe, just my opinion, somebody could have been already in the house. But why are they in Miss Nancy's house? And why did Miss Nancy, I still have this question, why do Miss Nancy had to catch an Uber? My mama not going to ride no Uber as long as I have a car. No. Somebody need to drop her out, pick her up, and drop her off. Why she in an Uber? That part I don't understand. And then it's a car in her garage, but she in an Uber. Oh, Lord have mercy. Poor me, Nancy. I think she's still living. What y'all think?
To pull up out front to bring Mrs. Guthrie out, and he wanted to make
We
sure
talked about that, Donald.
pick up the vehicle approach. Again, I'm completely befuddled by why you wouldn't have gone through just a number of first floor windows that don't have the Rayhaus on them. They don't have that ornate grates over them like you see on many of the houses here.
Okay, for the new people who here new to our channel, we've been investigating this case ever since it started, okay? Y'all just new to the channel. We know everything going on with this case. Now, all the stuff that some of y'all saying in the chat, we already discussed that. We have videos on that, okay? So don't come in here and act like we don't know who dropped her off. Okay, you are late. We bypassed that. And like I told y'all, we do have upload videos. Go check them out. We know y'all late.
Or trick her, some kind of ruse to get her to open the door. But when you're standing there dressed as he was, she's not going to open the door. So
all right, you think she did, but listen to what he's saying, though.
Figure out how this was. What I don't understand is this, and I'll close here. Why haven't we learned yet if forced entry was the means of entering the house? And why did law enforcement initially state that and then quickly walk that back? I think that's a key piece of evidence.
A lot of y'all, okay, everybody thinks y'all think she on the live. She might be. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the type of, I'm not gonna make up nothing. But I don't know. But I hope she's not.
Why they haven't released that.
Right, we all have those questions and questions about the cameras. Some have said there were cameras found on the roof in the back. other cameras inside. We want to see what those cameras caught. Did she have an alarm? If she's a woman, 84, living by herself, you would think she would have an alarm. What's the latest there? What about oppressor? It's been a while since we've heard from the police. The last time we were briefed from the sheriff's department, I should say, was what, a week ago? Are they planning on saying anything?
Yeah, so Ainsley, we've been asking around about that because obviously, we want to get as much news as we can. In the very beginning, I think that they realize that sometimes too much information is not a good thing. It's not
right.
help.
See, y'all got to realize
the FBI has been kind of tight-lipped on this because
the FBI is keeping a lot away from us now. They can't tell us everything because, like a lot of people take things that you put out, that they putting out, and they just changing it. And so I don't make up nothing. I go by what they say and work with it. Day 12, y'all. Day 12.
we are second seat, right? The Pima County Sheriff's Office, they are directing this investigation from the front. The FBI is in an advisory capacity. And that makes it difficult. You need a singular line of message.
See, the sheriff trying to run this case. See, it's a lot going on with this case. Instead of he need to go back to the basketball game and let the FBI take over the case. They the one put the $50,000 up there, so let them take over the case. But I believe when they don't want them to do that because there's less money. I think this is the way they get paid.
And that's why you would have a joint operations center. You'd have, agents working with deputies, and that way all of that information, there's a synergy there, and then there's...
And you know what? And that's the sad thing.
We're not having another conference.
Look, I don't understand that, Terry. But you're right, Carol, about that. Miss... You know what? That's enough to scare you. Anything like that guy we just saw sitting on her sofa, waiting on her when the garage go up, and then she's 84 and she look up. That's enough to give her a heart attack. Now, but you know what, D? She still need a security system. She need a security system with a alarm. Nobody never mentioned that, but we mentioned it in our video last night. And I want to thank those people who was on the panel working. We worked this case last night. So y'all need to go watch the upload videos too. There's some important things in it.
Unless or until we have a significant piece of evidence or information that the public needs to hear about.
But James, and I say this cautiously because the thin blue line exists for a reason. And many people in law enforcement understand the job and are hesitant to criticize rank and file. But when it comes to leadership, were there some failures here? Securing the crime scene, the way the grid search is being done, not using...
But y'all notice something missing in this case to me. Where are the church people? Get on them, Carol. The church people. What about the church people? The church family. What are they doing? You usually hear somebody from the church family speaking out that they noticed one day Miss Nancy wasn't looking right at church. You know what I mean? Or something.
Proper equipment to make sure that the scene is not contaminated.
It's going somewhere, D. But y'all, if you're the type of person that give up easily, this case is not good for you. But it is going somewhere. But you got to remember, they can't tell us everything. They putting a little bit out there. They putting clues out there, and we got to take it and we got to put it together. And y'all have done a great job. We all have. And yeah, prayers been sent. Where it's the church members. That's what I said, Carol. But I'm not giving up. I'm gonna have faith that Miss Nancy is alive. I'm gonna have faith that she is, and she's doing good. So just let me say that. And I'm gonna pray for her and her family. I am really gonna pray. Oh my God, y'all just don't know. Took me a while to get back on him about Miss Nancy. Cause I hate some people to use elderly people like this. You know what I mean? Why y'all didn't take nobody young? I mean, come on.
You finally have
And how we know there's some issue, but we don't know. You know, that's what I'm saying. Whew. Jesus. Who making sure that she take her meds every day? But y'all know what? There's a lot of 84-year-olds, and remember that can take care of themselves. There's a lot of 84-year-old people can take care of themselves. You got to think about that too. Now, because they're 84 now, doesn't mean that they're not dependable. Some people are dependable. 84 just 84. But she take medicine and she can't hardly walk. I just don't understand why she left alone like that. Anything can happen to her in the middle of the night. Do somebody supposed to come sit with her and they didn't come sit? A lot of things. I'm sitting in one church. Look, that's what I don't understand, Karen, about the church people. It's a lot of missing little holes in this.
Is where you hear things said in the media, you hear somebody like me, an analyst, speculating about something, and you want to pull your hair out and say, that's wrong, that's not what's going on.
Lord, I can't get
When it comes
about
to the
that.
conduct of the investigation, I will give the investigators the benefit of the doubt again, because they've got a difficult and arduous task. The terrain out here, just the 14-hour time gap that you guys painstakingly walked through at the top of the show this morning to talk about how long the bad guy or bad guys had to get away.
And my thing is this, y'all. My thing is this. You know, when it hit me, it be something spiritual. It's got to be a good neighborhood. It has to be a good neighborhood. You're always supposed to make a plan B. You're right, Terry. But you know, I don't think it's a bad neighborhood. So that's why I say where did all this started? How did something like this started? It had to start from Savannah. And see, then you got a lot of time. We don't know what happened in the news. What? We don't know, y'all. People when you on the government and when you're in the county and working for the state, it's certain things we can talk about, certain things we can't. Her medication will no longer be the same due to her extra unexpected stress. Right.
Say this. Look, I'm a recovering elected official. The sheriff of Pima County, and it's not just him, sheriffs are historically elected positions. They're politicians first.
Y'all hear what he's saying? What I just told y'all at the beginning. Political. Political, y'all. Sometimes I wonder, do they have a cousin or anybody that running for office is not a Republican? What's going on? Cause they getting ready to vote. Is it time to get a new sheriff in town?
Position to be in because you've got to run for election again or re-election, and you've also got to think about.
Oh wow! Let me push this back. Listen to what he just said. It's about election.
The sheriff of Pima County, and it's not just him, sheriffs are historically elected positions. They're politicians first, and then they're also law enforcement officers. That's a tough position to be in because you've got to run for election again or re-election, and you've also got to think about serving the public, and it's a difficult capacity because law enforcement doesn't have to usually be elected.
And you know what I really do think, y'all? I think that some people just won't let their position go and let somebody else young take over the position. Why don't you train the young people and start fussing at them and make them understand and be patient and teach them because you got to let your job go. A lot of the elderly people on these jobs need to go. Like that sheriff who was at the basketball game working his case, he need to resign. What you holding on for? Go on and resign, retire, and go on to enjoy your money while you living. Train these young people. Train the young people. Right. Train these young people. You know what? When I was coaching track and field, I had young people helping me, y'all. I gave these young mothers and young fathers and my son and daughters, everybody young who ran track before, you know, in the area that they ran, and I gave them opportunity of being coaches. You know, come on now. And then I had the children that people don't like. I took them. The troublemakers, I took them and I trained them. Oh, the sheriff need to go sit down somewhere. He was at a basketball game, Myra. I'm going to let you see him in a few minutes.
Messaging. I thought in the beginning, especially for
right, D. I thought you said that before.
Speakers, I thought it was clunky.
You have to keep repeating yourself. We see.
Look, the Pima County Sheriff's Office is 1,800 strong, 600 sworn deputies. They've got 9,000 miles of incorporated.
The reason why it seemed like no urgency, D, because we don't know what's going on behind the scene. We really don't even know what's going on. They don't hide so much from us. They can't put everything out there. They can't. We have to figure it out. But don't ever give up in trying to, if you're not a thinker, you know, a critical thinker, I mean, don't give up. Don't give up.
Here that they're in charge of. It's a law.
Okay, let's go to the sheriff, y'all. Let me show y'all him. He need to go. He really don't need to be re-elected. I don't even think he want to. Hold on, y'all.
What can disqualify you from getting a life insurance policy? With us, nothing.
I don't care how old he is. He just don't. Some people just need to let things go and resign.
Out of the road near Nancy Guthrie's home. This is the very new stuff now. This, as sources confirm, the FBI is processing a set of gloves found about 1.5 miles from her house. Lieutenant Randy Sutton joins us now. He served 24
Okay,
years.
why would he throw? Hold up, y'all. This a reaction channel. We talk over here. We don't just watch it on TV. Why would he just peep in the house? He can't be the person who abducted her with the abduction team. I think it's a team of them, a group of them. He just peeped through her house. Why would he throw his gloves not too far from the house? I don't believe I really don't believe he's the person we need to be looking at. The person who we need to be looking at, it's not him. But the reason why they're looking at him because he the one was on the porch, being nose and peeping Tom. But that don't mean that he did it. You know, they just giving y'all something to talk about.
Randy Sutton joins us now. He served 24 years with the Las Vegas Metropolitan PD. He joins us live outside the Pima County Sheriff's Office in Tucson. Randy, your take on what they're looking for that would prompt them. What could you maybe infer from this?
Well, in a sense, it shows how desperate they are to literally turn over every stone on this investigation.
Yeah, I didn't say. See, you got to listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say that. You changed my words. I said that he might not be the person that did it. That's what I said. We know they should look at him because he was on the porch.
The reality is that this is very difficult terrain. When you're looking at the wide scope of this search, I mean, it encompasses miles and miles, and with the hope that they will be able to recover something that might have been discarded.
They looking for somebody talking.
I caution about
somebody talking.
Enthusiasm that has arisen from the discovery of these gloves. Is it possible that they're involved? Sure, and they will diligently, the FBI will diligently examine those for DNA and any possibility. They'll be comparing the material from enhanced photographic images that they recover from the video. They'll do anything to either confirm that those possibly might be the gloves, or that this is a not.
How y'all know that it could be anyone? It can be a police officer. It can be anybody. Construction worker. It can be a teacher. It could be anyone. We don't know. It could be the FBI. It could be a former. I don't know. We trying to figure it out, for Miss Nancy.
Non-starter.
Right. Some people have said those gloves, the ones we saw in the video, that might be the ones we found on the ground. They found on the ground, are from the food service business. That might be somebody that works in some type of area where you need the thickness of those like thermal gloves.
See, that's what. Okay, so the video that we live that we had yesterday that a lot of y'all need to go and watch. We spoke on these gloves. I think I said, well, if they're not winter gloves, they could be like cleaning gloves. You know, because I couldn't find the gloves on the internet. And I thought about, y'all I'm not going to speak on that video. Y'all had to go watch it. But I think that these gloves right here are just cleaning gloves. And I said, well, maybe he'll custodian. Because the reason why I said that, y'all, he had on khakis. This dude here, only time you wear khakis, I do. I think it's for business. In schools, you have, in school, we had to wear khakis, uniform, on your job. So I try to put him on a working job. Like on what kind of job do this person had, because he had on khakis and he was well dressed. Did he work at anything close around there he could work at? Because I don't know, do they have a Walmart, a Target? I don't know what they have there. Yeah, look like cleaning glove. That's what I said. Yeah, that's on the video that we had live we had last night. We was talking about those gloves, those cleaning gloves to me. Those not light winter gloves. They cleaning gloves.
Well, I personally believe that those gloves were easily found in any Home Depot or Lowe's, and they are used for plumbing work and
I just said that.
There was a set of gloves underneath that. That's my belief.
That's why you would have the thicker gloves.
That's the same thing we spoke on yesterday. We said that those gloves that he was wearing on top of there, they look like cleaning gloves. Like, did he do work around there? Where do he work at, getting off at that time of night, in the morning, at 2:30 in the morning? His eye was so red like he was high. Look at him right there, standing up there like a big baby. And the mask wasn't even a Nike mask. It wasn't from East Bay. I think he got the mask from Walmart. I think he got the shoe, the pants, and the mask wasn't even from. Nike had a mask like that, but East Bay didn't. Now I never did check and see that Walmart had a mask like that, but I know Nike did. But I'm going to today go check Walmart. But Nike had a mask just like that one. I think they playing games with this dude right here. I think they just put him out there so y'all can work with this so we can have something to work with.
We get updates just by.
Well, Nikki, you must have cared, you in the chat. Well, why you here if you don't care? Y'all got some problems.
Piecing together different reports and clues and trying to do our own sourcing. How do you think this is working with the FBI and sheriff, the coordination, the leadership? How is it viewed inside from your contacts?
Now, that's a great question because this is something that's concerned me from the very beginning. Of course, following this case from the outset, beginning when the sheriff did give his press conferences, the way he gave these press conferences was startling. It was unprofessional. He seemed to be out of his depth, quite honestly. He gave information and he walked back information and he said this, he said that.
See, I think somebody trying to knock that sheriff out of office. Because it's no way he should have been at a basketball game. And he just act like somebody making him nervous. He must not be a good worker.
Really under his leadership, the scene was not secured properly. We're now understanding that the FBI wasn't called in until several days later, that the scene itself was compromised. This is bad leadership, and I can tell you this, that I've been on the ground here for like 10 days now, and I've got pretty good sources in the area when it comes down to how this sheriff is viewed. And he's viewed as a vindictive sheriff, that he has, in actuality, gotten rid of some of the most experienced people, including on the homicide team.
Right.
The homicide team here is they don't get that much experience because I think last year there were only 5 murders as opposed to Tucson, which had like 50. So to be a homicide detective requires a great deal of time and education, but experience.
Bless your heart, Miss Nancy.
He got rid of his most experienced because he had disciplinary problems or personal problems with them. Same thing with the pilot of the airplane that needed to be up immediately in the search and rescue. He got rid of the pilot and assigned him back to another assignment. He was their pilot, and in all reality, he is not viewed as an effective leader. He's viewed as a...
Y'all hear him talking about the sheriff? The sheriff act like where he from? The sheriff from? Where is he from? Cause he's somebody backing him off. Somebody trying to get rid of him. Somebody want his position.
Leader, and we're seeing that, I believe, because he hasn't given a press conference since all of the criticism that arose from his other press conferences.
Right.
And this is bad leadership. The people have a right to have some transparency. Of course, you don't want to give up the leads or anything, but the people have a right to have some confidence in the law.
Thank you. I mean, we don't even have. He don't want us to know nothing. The sheriff act like he don't really want to tell us anything. He just want us to figure it out. Figure. Just think. Some things y'all supposed to tell us, you put it out there. And like I said, on the video, the live that we did last night, TMZ received another email. Why is things going to TMZ? We know that Harvey is a lawyer. If Harvey an attorney, he don't need to be doing this.
Enforcement area here.
Somebody could be upset with TMZ. I don't know.
One of his big regrets was not pushing harder to get the FBI more involved early. He just acquiesced and said, do your thing. He says he really regrets not doing that. We know the death of his daughter was in his own house. Lastly, if there was a Guthrie getaway vehicle, was it caught on a traffic camera anywhere after you saw the doorway video? Do you think, what would you be looking for there? Could that be possible?
Yeah, it is possible, and I think that's why they're looking at every single ounce of video that they can obtain from security cameras in convenience stores to the whatever is out there officially in the government, poll cams and things like that. So they're looking for anything that could possibly have been utilized as a getaway.
Why y'all do me in Nancy like that?
It is out there. He didn't drag that woman out of there and carry her off to Neverland. There's a vehicle involved.
Right.
That's what I just said. It's a vehicle. I said that earlier. Everything I said, they repeating. They're saying the same thing I'm saying. Ain't nobody crazy. We know what's going on here. I know where in the world somebody got to know what's going on. Come on, Miss Nancy couldn't even watch Law and Order, mind her business. Golly. Let the lady live the rest of her life, honey. She still can live. She enjoying going to church and being around the church people. She ain't bothering nobody. Gosh, leave the older people alone. Get a
The city of
job.
Tucson does not have cameras that record moving vehicles, so it's unfortunate. Some people might like that.
Let me see what else they got, y'all. This case, let me see what he talking about. Let me see what he got now. Yeah, she can be y'all. That's your opinion. You think she did? I'm not gonna give up on Miss Nancy. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna say Miss Nancy still alive. I'm gonna say that.
Video, we are told, is on the FBI's radar in the Nancy Guthrie case. And it could be important, but we know it is in play. This video was shot at 1:52 in the morning at a home 5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house. You see a man in the...
Y'all see, then I just said that these people act like they homeless. That man walked up to that lady door, could have been a homeless man who don't got on, either a guy who on drugs and stuff. You don't know what's involved in this case. And look at him. What is he doing? He got on khakis and book bag.
Video, both wearing a backpack and holding a backpack. The backpack that he is holding has reflective stripes similar to the backpack that the kidnapper was wearing at Nancy's door. It's unclear from the video exactly where those reflective stripes are located, but they are reflective stripes. And we know and reported yesterday that this is a Walmart backpack, which is fairly common. The man appears to try and open a gate at a residence and is unable to do it.
I want to is that a good neighborhood she living in? Cause they don't act like it's a nice neighborhood, but I'm gonna tell you something. These folks be trying to get somewhere to stay. And they knew that they probably don't even know that the man who walked up to her house, probably a homeless man. Somebody could have gave him them clothes. We don't know nothing about that dude. Dude could work somewhere. We don't know.
So he leaves at 1:53. Now, timing here is critical. When you listened to the FBI last week, they said that Nancy's doorbell was disabled at 1:47. Our law enforcement sources directly connected to this case tell us that the video that they retrieved showing the kidnapper at Nancy Guthrie's door, that video was actually 2:12 a.m. Notice that when the FBI released it, they didn't give a timestamp. He didn't say when it was.
Yes, they did. I thought they said 2:25. Yes, they did give a timestamp, Harvey. They did, because I think I kept saying 2:25. They gave a timestamp. Don't say the FBI didn't, because they did.
But we are told by law enforcement sources it was 2:12 a.m. Where you see the kidnapper. That's the video that was retrieved.
Right.
So now think about this.
Okay.
If the kidnapper is at Nancy's door at 2:12 a.m. and this person in this other video 5 miles away left that home at 1:53, there would be 19 minutes that person has, if that person is the kidnapper, and I stress if, 19 minutes to drive 5 miles, put on the disguise, and walk up to Nancy's door. Now, I want to really make this clear. We don't know this is the kidnapper. We do know this is something the FBI is actively looking at.
That's what I told y'all. It don't mean that that's the kidnapper. It doesn't. It could be a homeless person. She lived. They don't even check. That's what we talked about, Michelle. I just can't believe it. I'm trying not to even look at that part right there because we've been talking about that, and look what he just said. We don't know who these people are. You know what? We don't know have they ever came over Miss Nancy's house in the daytime, seen her out in the yard. We don't know who know that she's. Hey, I know what older lady said. That you don't never know who worked for her. Know people who owe money. It seemed like a group of people involved in this.
If there's any connection. So that's why the face is blurred. We don't know it's him, but we know the FBI is looking at that. One more thing. As for the glove that was found yesterday, we are told that there were actually more than one glove found at that scene. So the FBI is looking at it to authenticate.
Yeah, you said that it was 2 gloves yesterday. Yeah. Lord have mercy, y'all. Today is Wednesday. We on day 12. Let me see what else they have new, y'all, before I hang up. Let me see. 2 hours ago. Let's see. Well, y'all, what I do is see what else I can find. That's right. Who leaves love? Like, that don't even make sense. Wait a minute. What he say? Hold on. Let me see what he said right here.
Build your online business and you watched it happen live. Now on.
Hold on, y'all. I'm going to show this and then I'm going to go look for more and more and more. Y'all know it's going to be something. Here they go. They trying to make some money.
Yes. Yeah. An account somewhere, a Bitcoin account, that showed a deposit for $6 million, which is the exact amount of the ransom demand in the first ransom.
Wait a minute. What did you say? Hold on. What did you just say?
Sending this note saying that they know who the kidnapper is comes just on the heels of the FBI releasing those images yesterday, which caused a flood, as you would imagine, a flood of tip calls to the FBI, to police, and even to the media, with people claiming that they know who this person is. We're going to get into some specifics.
You know what? The way that dude walk up on that porch, that dude make me think that he already knew that some action had already taken place there. But if you come to think of that ring cam is on the door while he there at 2:11. 2:11 in the morning, who took the ring off? Who took the ring off? No, let me see, y'all. It's a lot of people not here to discuss this case. They just want to distract. But anywho. Okay, so we're going back to what I said. The dude was on the porch at 2:11. The ring cam was still on the porch, on the door. I have to, D, because they looking. Because okay, y'all trying to distract me. I ain't gonna do it. But anywho, like I said, the ring cam, the dude, when he walked up to the porch, the ring cam was still there. The ring camera was still there on the door. Do y'all believe he the one took the ring camera out the door? Because that dude that let us know that that dude let us know that it was on the door at 2:11. So when did it come off? how long was he there? You know what I mean?
What this person was wearing and holstering and the things that law enforcement is looking at. Before we do, we want to address something that's been going around social media because I think it's important in 2026 to look at social media where
and
the
address
audience
some of those
is,
things, right?
and address some of the things that are bubbling around.
I think this started with late yesterday. We broke a story that the Bitcoin address, the original Bitcoin address in the ransom note we received more than a week ago, there was activity in that account.
And we're not saying how much, there are reasons we are not saying how much, but there was activity. Somebody on social media is saying 15 minutes or so after
that activity,
they saw an account. It's not clear what account, but
we know it's different from the one that we were looking at.
Yes. An account somewhere, a Bitcoin account, that showed a deposit for $6 million, which is the exact amount of the ransom demand in the first ransom note. So, a lot of people in social media are saying, did the Guthrie family pay the $6 million? We can now tell you we have law enforcement sources involved in this investigation who say no.
That payment that you may be seeing this on social media, that payment, that account, that Bitcoin account that someone is claiming got the $6 million deposit. Obviously, it did get a $6 million deposit, but we are told that is not
unrelated.
It is completely unrelated. And to be honest,
it's unrelated. How is it unrelated? They don't want y'all to say too much.
Like something someone did as a hoax.
Maybe. But one of the things that we couldn't close the loop on until now is in the second note that was received
by a Tucson station on Friday.
We didn't get the second note. And what we were wondering is whether there was a second Bitcoin address on that note, so that maybe money could have been funneled to that account and not the account we're looking at from the first ransom note. We can now tell you, we know from law enforcement that that second note did not contain a new Bitcoin address. So the only Bitcoin address is the one that from the original note that we've monitored, where we saw this activity. So
Savannah had to have one too. She had to have the real
training and investing workshop right here in Atlanta. Inside this workshop, you'll learn
Let me say there are other stations that are the other two stations that got that are also monitoring it.
Okay. Now let's talk about the outfit this kidnapper was wearing.
We talked about that last night.
Here that the kidnapper is seen on that Nest camera wearing is of very, very deep interest
I can't show that
to the FBI, and they are digging into every aspect of it. But there are three things in particular we're told they are trying to really put under a microscope to find out where these items came from.
I think they came from Walmart.
Then they can find, the kidnapper. And the three
That's
things
what I said,
the
Michelle.
backpack, the gloves, and the gun. The handgun that everyone has looked at and thought, what a weird place to put a gun that you very rarely ever see any. I've never seen it before, actually.
Right, because I can't show the gun, but when I first heard about the gun, when I first saw the gun, it shocked me. Because I said, what is that smashing?
In particular, with law enforcement. So they're looking at everything. But let's kind of break down. Now what they're doing is they're trying to find out who purchased these items and where did they get them from, and if they can start looking at the items and they can figure out.
And see those gloves he has on, them cleaning gloves. I don't think he want them to get the fingerprint off the gloves. So he could be can work in a warehouse. We don't know this guy. We just thinking, y'all. Oh, these my true subscribers.
tells them they believe whoever bought this is in the Tucson area. We know law enforcement believes that. So they are going to be looking at someone in the Tucson area that may have purchased those items, in the fairly recent past.
Definitely, yeah. And let's talk about this backpack. So, I mean, everything that this individual in the video.
Okay, they doing what we doing. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back later on. Okay, we might not come this route. We may go another route, but we will be talking about this case, y'all. Thank you. I'm out.